Hey guys, it's Ethan with Trackstar Motorworks. Today I have been blessed with 3 cars from our friends over at Track Dog Racing in Dallas, Texas. These are all running the Track Dog Rotrex kits that I am very familiar and very happy with. These work great for linear power, especially for road racing cars. We have multiple real road racing cars that go out there and flog them, all day, all weekend long, and they just make fantastic power. So all 3 of these cars are a little bit different. They are all on Megasquirt computers, so they're all the same in that way. We're going to be doing, we did pump gas on 1, and then we're going to be doing flex fuel on 2. And so let's go have some fun. Okay guys, so we have Miata number 1 on the dyno right now. This is 1 of 3 with the Rotrexes that are going to be going on here today. This one has an all-forged built bottom end. It has the boundary oil pump gears, billet oil pump gears, and a fluid damper. So the whole bottom end is pretty bulletproof here. The head is stock, so we're not going to be revving to the moon, but we know from experience these Rotrex cars make really good power. Looking forward to tuning all 3 of these and hopefully having a little bit of fun while we do it, and delivering the fun to the owners, more importantly. There's our first couple partial pulls there. Looking good, the shape is correct. Moving, that's only about half throttle right now. So I'm gonna start getting into a little bit deeper. This is a fresh motor, so we've already done some runtime with it. We're not trying to just take it all the way right away, as I'm not trying to do on any tune, really. You gotta walk before you run in all cases. This should build about 14, 15 pounds. Right now, because of throttle and RPM, we're only at like 7, 8 pounds, so lots to go. All right, 205. Ran into a really rich wall up top, so that's a good place to be though. You can see we're getting a fall off in the top end there a little bit because of the over fueling now. So I'm gonna trim a little fuel away and then we'll go harder. Just a little bump. Was less of a wall of fuel, but still got down to like 10.0 there at the big end, so a little bit more to take away. As long as that number keeps going up, I'm happy. Looks a little bit better as far as the shape now. You can see where the big end is not falling off like it was a minute ago. Kind of expecting a bump of power there, but it does look a little bit better. Just our first spark plug check, looking pretty good. Conservative timing right now, of course. Pump gas, we have E85 coming, so no reason to push our luck. Just trying to get a good base on it right now. It's our first rev limiter touch. Same power though. Sweet. That's what I was looking for. All right, well, that is gonna finish it up for this particular Miata. We're ending on pump gas right now. We have a flex fuel sensor that maybe we'll get working here in a little bit, but 240 and 240 ain't bad, especially for this little bitty car. All right, so we are on to Miata number 2 for the day. This one is a little bit different in that it is a VVT motor, and so it flows a little bit better, plus it has the variable valve timing. This one also has Chevy coil packs on top of it, but otherwise, the bottom end is very similar to the other car with all forged, got the boundary gears, got the fluid dampener. All right, so before we get started here, the history of this car is important. Apparently, it was previously tuned. It lasted a couple thousand miles. As soon as it went to the actual road racing track, it blew up quickly. So if you pay attention, our richest targeted number is 12.1. That's way out at, that's 20 pounds of boost. And we're still only targeting 12.1. Well, now this car does have a flex sensor, so there's ethanol and there's a pump gas map, but that's not appropriate for either gas on any planet. So this might work in the short run, but once you get on the track and the thermal management becomes much more important, you've got to throw the extra fuel at it to take temperature out of the engine when you're just stacking and stacking temperature on continuous use. Some kind of ignition problem still, but it recovers though. Yeah. All right, well, it is now day 2. Obviously 3 flex tune cars in one day is above. I didn't actually sign up for that. It just happened, and we tried. One of them 100% done. This one we got, pump gas tune kind of in, but we were having breakup. We chased our tail a little bit there. We thought maybe it was the coil packs themselves. Maybe it was the spark plug gap. We got to reduce that breakup to very minimal, but still existing. They took the car back to their shop and changed out the cam angle sensor on the back of the motor there, and now it is perfect. So I think the pump gas map is pretty good. I just didn't get to see the high RPM operation. So we're gonna roll it right now, get our pump gas numbers, then we'll pump all that out, put some E85 in, and see what it does then.
That sounded clean.
250 right there.
Nice.
See what that shape looks like. Yup. Lovely.
Well, that's what we wanted to see the first day.
Yep, so that was pretty good on the pump gas tune there. Because the way this car makes power, it's just linear, up to the right there. Even just seeing up to 5,000 pretty much gives you a good look at what you're gonna need in the big end. And it looks like it was pretty close. Cool, I mean, that is clean all the way out. I just had to barely tweak it the tiniest bit. Got a little bit more fuel in there, but I think that's looking like the pump gas tune is pretty much set. Let's see that shape. Pow, just straight up. All right, so I pumped out the last little bit of pump gas and I put in some ethanol. It looks like our percentage right now is only saying 56%. The same batch of ethanol yesterday, I think the highest we saw was like 63%. So not really expecting much more than that, but I'm gonna run it a little bit right now, and then I think we're gonna add another couple gallons of the ethanol we got. Hopefully we'll get above the 60% mark. Sounded good to me. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, 274 and 220. Percentage still didn't change, still at 56, so I think I'm gonna add a little bit more and see if we can get it up. Like, it's not important that it is actually E85, but it's important that I try to get it as close to what they're actually gonna get. This seems like right now we're kind of getting a little bit lower percentages like all around the place, all around DFW. So we're gonna have to do what we can on 60%. It's on like a sliding scale that if it's correct here, it should also be correct out at 85, but I like to test the car if possible on, you know, what they're really gonna be running on. What you don't wanna do is put only the best E85 you can find in a car to tune, because you're not always gonna have that E85. It's good to tune on like E70 something is like a good medium mixture. That way if you get lower, okay. If you get higher, probably okay as well. And just don't tune to a super fine margin on a car that you know is going to be varying somewhat. Cool, I think we gave a little bump there. Yep. The ethanol percentage really didn't pull up at all there. I think we pulled up like another 1.5%, so unfortunately that's what's around right now. Fortunately it is on a flex tune, so it should be able to adjust for it. But yeah, if you get some true E85, it may need a little adjustment further, so that's the unfortunate part about if you're gonna run on E85. If it's like a race car, you might want to think about getting some consistent E85, like some Ignite or something along those lines. If it's like road race, you know, heavy, which that's what this is. So I'm confident on this gas right now, it'll be good. But yeah, I'd love to look at it again once it has true E85 in it, or even 75 or so. Because that is going to make a pretty substantial difference from where we're at right now. All right, well that takes care of this one now. Ended up at 278, 225 torque. I think our final on pump gas was 258, so 20 horsepower gained, and but not on E85. So there'd be more gain if it was on 70+% ethanol. But that's a good bump, and more importantly, it is repeatable, and I think will be reliable for him. We're not looking for every last horsepower on a road racing car. What I'm looking for is for the car to last through all the events. So I'm confident we'll do that. There are no settings that are pushing the limit. I haven't taken timing as far as it can possibly go. I've not run it as lean as I possibly can to get the most power. I've just at a nice, comfortable spot, and where I know that it's gonna hold together for a very long time. Okay, so we just did our final pump gas number there. It ended up at 295 and 233 torque. We are going to pump the little bit of pump gas that's in the tank out, put some good E85 in, and hopefully we're gonna gain 30 horsepower or something like that. We'll see what it does. Was a little bit leaner than I want to see, so I backed off, but still did over 300 wheel horsepower right there. Yep, so I'm gonna make a couple changes. Pretty good. Still need a little bit more fuel, but what do we got? 311 and 249, okay. I think that looked good.
Hey, there we go.
Cool, pretty consistent there. We've done like 3 318s and 2 322s and right there in that range, so
Yeah, and you
feeling
were
pretty
saying
good.
Ethanol content.
Yeah, the ethanol content's only at 62.5%. So up there we get most of the benefit of having the ethanol, but there might be a little bit more on the table. So I think previously it did like 315 or something, but on real ethanol. So I think we're in good shape. The goal was not to do like the most peak power we could do. The goal was to make sure the car is consistent, reliable, repeatable, and will hold up through track sessions, you know. All right, well, we are all done with the final Miata in our trio. This one ended up at 324 wheel horsepower, 257 torque. I think that's about a 30 horsepower bump from where we were at on pump gas. Proper shape of the dyno plot, as pretty much all of the cars with the Track Dog Rotrex kit are gonna do. If the tune is right, it's gonna look like that. So hopefully all of them get to go enjoy their cars for their intended use. And if you liked what you saw here, if you learned anything, then please consider liking and subscribing. And I'll see you next time.